Before we begin, I'd like to invite you to follow Secrets of the Ancients. If you enjoy these explorations, please do consider subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment to support our journey into the past. Now let's dive in. Make your video 10 minutes long. Let the old man's voice appear throughout the video. Please do not add any text. Add an opening message to the video encouraging viewers to follow Secrets of the Ancients. To watch this and future videos, support us by subscribing, liking, and commenting. Choose a distinctive archaeological and cultural style. Make the narrator's voice have an archaeological feel. Please do not add any background music. Do not upload text. Do not upload background music. Please add fresh and realistic videos while maintaining the archaeological feel. Why did the Anunnaki leave Nibiru and come to Earth? Nibiru orbits the Sun in a backward elliptical path that brings it near Earth once every 3,600 years, according to ancient maps from Anunnaki territories and reports from the Iris Naval Observatory. The Sumerians believed Nibiru was a brown dwarf star, and some lived on or were influenced by it. On Mount Graham, where the Catholic Church has a strong presence, the Lucifer telescope is used to monitor Nibiru's approach, and it's already arrived. Finally, at the end of the video, add a closing message thanking viewers for listening and encouraging them to follow Secrets of the Ancients and watch future videos. Subscribe, like, and comment. So why would an advanced civilization from Nibiru send a team of scientists to Earth? The answer lies in political struggles and environmental pressures that caught the attention of Nibiru's ruling council. Unlike Earth, Nibiru is far from the Sun and doesn't receive enough radiation to sustain a livable surface temperature. Its atmosphere is artificially maintained by gases and geothermal heat, but during its closest pass to the Sun, it receives only limited solar radiation. According to the scholar Zechariah Sitchin, around 450,000 years ago, life on Nibiru was at risk of extinction due to atmospheric decay and increased radiation exposure. When Nibiru came close to the Sun, its ruler Anu overthrew the tyrant Enlil and exiled him. Enlil fled to Earth in a spacecraft and discovered gold here. He offered this valuable find as a peace gesture, hoping it could be used to repair Nibiru's damaged atmosphere. The idea was to disperse ionized gold particles in Nibiru's atmosphere to act as a protective shield. Anu sent his scientifically inclined son Enki to verify Enlil's claim. Enki arrived on Earth around 445,000 years ago, based on the Sumerian record that equates one Nibiru year to 3,600 Earth years. The first city the Anunnaki built was Eridu, located in the Persian Gulf region, and it became their base of operations. Enki and a small crew started extracting gold from the waters of the Gulf. Later, Anu sent his other son Enlil to speed up the operation. Enki and Enlil invited Anu to Earth to help oversee the complex task of mining gold, which required extensive infrastructure for crushing rocks and processing ores. Eventually, Enki moved the mining operation from the Persian Gulf to the Zambezi River region in southern Africa, where gold was more accessible. Anu visited Earth between 450,000 and 360,000 years ago to assess the situation. Enki and Enlil argued about who should manage the mining in Africa and who should control the Mesopotamian headquarters in Nippur. The leadership roles were decided by drawing lots. According to Nibiru's inheritance laws, Enlil was the rightful heir, being the son of Anu and his half-sister Antu. This was important because mitochondrial DNA, inherited from the mother, plays a key role in determining lineage. Enlil governed Mesopotamia with his son Abraham, serving at the temple in Ur. Inanna, Anu's favorite granddaughter, was given the Indus Valley region, while the Anunnaki maintained control over the Sinai Peninsula as a strategic site for restoring Nibiru's atmosphere. Enki was sent to the African region known as the Abzu to accelerate the mining. He returned to Nibiru in 3760 BCE to oversee the kingdom. This phase of mission division was known as the completion of the 9 Hashag. Enki's half-sister, a medical officer, arrived on Earth about 415,000 years ago and set up a medical clinic in Shurupak to help support the Nibiruan astronauts, who were aging faster on Earth due to the Sun's increased radiation and Earth's faster time cycles compared to Nibiru. Around 300,000 years ago, the Anunnaki Council, made up of 12 members, met in Enki's region in South Africa to discuss boosting gold production. To meet their needs, they brought advanced labourers to Earth, called the Igigi, who, despite being labelled as a working class, were far more advanced than humans. In the Atrahasis epic, they are referred to as miners. In the Book of Enoch, they are called the Watchers. These workers were tasked with heavy labour dredging rivers, digging canals, building cities and mining gold. However, they were not provided with female companions and eventually they rebelled. According to the ancient tablets, they carried this burden for 3,600 years. The Igigi protested and demanded relief. In response, Enki and his half-sister Ninmah created a primitive worker by genetically modifying a local species, possibly Homo erectus, to replace the Igigi in the mines. This marks the beginning of human civilization as we know it. There are claims that physical evidence of the Anunnaki still exists, ranging from clay tablets, technical documents, and astronomy-based artifacts to depictions in temples. For example, cuneiform tablets from the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation myth, stored at the University of Pennsylvania, describe the formation of the solar system in metaphorical terms, possibly encoding advanced knowledge. The Babylonian version of creation actually mentions 10 planets, not 9, counting the sun and moon. In the tale, the god Marduk, who's often associated with Nibiru, destroys a chaotic planet called Tiamat. The debris from this epic event becomes Earth and the asteroid belt. Some interpretations even suggest that the moon was once part of Tiamat and that Earth's position in the solar system was established by this ancient collision. Now, according to these stories, Nibiru's gravitational influence supposedly tilted Uranus and knocked Pluto out of its original orbit. Nibiru's moon struck Tiamat, splitting it apart, and later Nibiru itself collided with Tiamat, creating Earth as we know it. The leftover fragments formed what we now call the asteroid belt, right between Mars and Jupiter. This version of events is told every spring in Babylon, and honestly it might reflect a deeper scientific truth. Some researchers even suggest a form of directed panspermia, the idea that intelligent beings seeded Earth with life may have come through Nibiru. Modern science has surprisingly confirmed some parts of this ancient narrative. For example, the discovery of Pluto in 1930 and its moon Charon in 1978 sparked theories about unexplained gravitational effects in our solar system. In 1983, the IRAS infrared space telescope picked up a large object, possibly a distant planet about 4 times Earth's size. Dr. Robert Harrington of the US Naval Observatory and Zechariah Sitchin both believed this object was Nibiru, the so-called intruder planet. They tied this data directly to the ancient Enuma Elish texts. Pioneer 10 and 11 spacecraft also detected anomalies, which honestly just fueled the theory even more. It's said that when Nibiru gets close, it causes major shifts like pole reversals and natural disasters by disrupting Earth's magnetic and gravitational fields. Ancient buildings all around the world show signs of advanced technology. Massive stone blocks, strange carvings, and even depictions of flying machines like helicopters and rockets, which you can find carved into ancient Egyptian temples. For example, at the Temple of Hathor in Sinai, Melted gold was used to create a strange substance, possibly monatomic gold, something that researcher David Hudson claims was rediscovered in modern times. This substance, which was used for anti-gravity or superconductivity, might have allowed the Anunnaki to move those massive stones with ease. The Anunnaki, who were possibly a genetically elite group, reportedly consumed monatomic gold in conical bread-shaped cakes, and these are actually depicted in temple art. Their DNA may have suffered damage due to Earth's shorter orbital cycle and its closer proximity to the Sun. Monatomic gold and the Anunnaki legacy on Earth, the process of smelting gold, included a mysterious step called the G process. Consuming monatomic gold, gold transformed into a fine white powder, was believed to activate the human energy field and serve as a bridge to other dimensions. Antimony and other elements were added to create this powdered form, which interestingly seemed to lose its mass in the transformation. Alongside model aircraft, sun and moon temples aligned with solstices and equinoxes, and tens of thousands of Anunnaki tablets documenting advanced beings teaching civilization to early humans, there's strong evidence that the Anunnaki were once present on Earth. These ancient astronauts left behind remarkable ruins in Mesopotamian cities like Eridu, Babylon and Uruk, where the legendary King Gilgamesh once ruled. The evidence includes massive stonework that really challenges our current understanding of engineering, ancient gold mines in Africa, and carbon-dated sites placing Enki's presence there around 200,000 years ago. Sumerian clay tablets on display at the University of Pennsylvania describe the Anunnaki, their missions and their personalities. The Enuma Elish, an ancient creation text, contains technically advanced accounts of cosmic collisions that led to the formation of our solar system. It even references Pluto, something that wasn't officially confirmed by NASA until the 1980s. How could the ancients have known? In 1973, the University of Chicago photographed the ruins of Eridu emerging from Iraq's desert sands. The Sumerian king list confirms the city and its ruler, noting it as the site of Earth Station 1, a central hub for the Anunnaki. By the mid-19th century, excavations in Mesopotamia revealed the surprising complexity of the Sumerians. Their records, which include marriage contracts, births, and legal documents, also document the history of the Anunnaki. These beings weren't mythical. They were real to the Sumerians, flesh and blood astronauts who rose to divine status in the cities they founded. Ziggurats, Sumerian temple towers, honored these beings. The Anunnaki interacted with people and, according to the records, even created them genetically. In Nineveh, the library of Ashurbanipal was burned, which, ironically, preserved many clay tablets from ancient times. At the Anunnaki spaceport in Sipar, a sealed chamber was recently found measuring 9 by 6 feet, containing around 400 clay tablets organized chronologically. These tablets recorded the Anunnaki's time on Earth in detail. These records have only recently gained recognition and have now been digitized for easier study. The Atrahasis epic and other Sumerian texts describe gold mining operations in southern Africa, where the Anunnaki are said to have extracted gold. Carbon dating supports the claim that some of these mines were worked 200,000 years ago by beings genetically linked to early humans. Genetic evidence supports the story. The Anunnaki reportedly engineered primitive workers near gold mines owned today by Anglo-American plc. Enki's genetic lab was located in this region. Mitochondrial DNA traced through the mitochondrial Eve study and Y chromosome mutations tracked in the Y chromosome Adam study both point to the same place and time frame. The Atrahasis describes how animal DNA was mixed with Anunnaki DNA to eventually produce modern Homo sapiens. The Anunnaki were so advanced that humanity supposedly received knowledge leading to space travel within just 200,000 years of evolution, contrary to the slow, gradual tool development seen over millions of years. Enki, the scientist and creator of humans, arrived on Earth about 432,000 years ago. With him came the Igigi, lesser Anunnaki workers assigned to mine gold. Initially, the mining began in the Persian Gulf, and the city of Eridu was built. But due to insufficient gold recovery from the sea, the operation moved to southern Africa along the Zambezi River. After working for thousands of years under tough conditions, the miners rebelled near Enlil's fortress. They had endured 3,600 Earth years of labour, equal to one Nibiruan year. The Atrahasis describes how the miners marched on Enlil's home, surrounding it and demanding relief. Enlil was alerted by his guards, who informed him that the Igigi miners had reached his doorstep. He armed himself but consulted his father Anu, who advised calling Enki to help solve the crisis. An emergency council meeting was held. In the Atrahasis, Anu is depicted as the king of heaven, Enki as the lord of the Abzu, that's deep earth. Enlil, feeling attacked, questioned whether war had broken out. Anu advised sending a representative, Nusku, to ask the miners why they were revolting. The answer? The burden was simply too much. They had stopped digging, exhausted and overworked. Enlil turned to Anu and suggested a solution: create a new being to take over the labour. Enki supported this and proposed using clay mixed with divine essence to create a primitive worker. The goddess of birth, Ninhursag, also called Bele Ili or Ninma, agreed to help. A god was sacrificed and his essence mixed into the clay to create a being with a soul, a reminder of the god who gave his life. This being was the prototype human. The council approved, and Enki and Ninma began experimenting. Early versions failed, and some were deformed or non-viable, but eventually they succeeded in creating a stable human being who could perform labour. According to the Atrahasis, this was the birth of humanity. Ninhursag reported to the council, "I did the work you asked. I eliminated the need for gods to do hard labour." Today, genetic engineering is understood and widely used. But 450,000 years ago, such feats would have been unimaginable to us. Could ancient beings who had already mastered space travel have also mastered artificial insemination and cloning? The Atrahasis suggests they did, and in a deeper sense, the Anunnaki idea of transferring a soul or life force from a sacrificed being into a new one parallels modern ideas of energy, consciousness, and even reincarnation. It's a